Super Lesbian Animal RPG, henceforth SLARPG, is a 2022 game directed and dominantly developed by Ponette, aka Bobby Schroeder. It's a shining beacon of queer positivity, and also it's really fucking good. I'm serious. In a year with Dark Souls 99, God of War 15, Bayonetta 3, and Tunic, this was my game of the year. And I have really good taste. It's about a group of particularly rowdy homosexuals. Melody, a gay fox, her girlfriend Allison, a gay rabbit, their friend Claire, a gay cow, and their other friend Jody, a gay tiger, who form an adventurers guild in an effort to unlock the shackles of full-time mediocrity. The party gets more than they bargained for when a big scary guy in a cool poncho shows up and starts fucking with the caves under their hometown. The writing is funny, cute, gay, and very sweet, but avoids being overly saccharine. The characters talk exactly like people I've met online, and they're all fully realized. All 5 party members, Faith included, display types of anxiety that I've either had first or second-hand experiences with, and they're all portrayed dead on. Melody's initially worried she's not cut out for being a paladin, but later it transforms into projection. Allison is worried she's taking advantage of Melody's kind heart and giving nature. Although both Melody and Allison can buff each other by kissing, this is primarily used by Melody on Allison. Melody is tanky, her heals are already great, and her damage is so bad that a 15% boost isn't going to help. On the other hand, Allison is the DPS and needs that boost to attack. She's pretty frail, so she needs the boost to defense, and the speed boost helps her move before almost anything else in the game. The way the gameplay reinforces the story is genius. Early in the game, I had the thought that Melody was spending a lot more time helping Allison than the other way around, and the characters expressed the same concern just a few hours later. Claire's a bit of a fuck-up and knows it. She causes a lot of trouble for the people around her, and in multiple ways is the primary reason the game's plot kicks off in the first place. In the first dungeon, her only attack makes fights more difficult when she lights the enemies on fire, making them stronger. Her anxiety makes her think that the others talk behind her back, and although she's right, she thinks a lot worse of herself than her friends do. Jody has her anxiety the most under control, but it's still there under the surface. She feels she needs to take responsibility for the actions and safety of others, which is a great attitude for a knight, but a bad one for a person. Her relationship with anxiety perfectly embodies her role as a party member. In battle, Jody tries to take all of the damage for the party, both making it easier for Melody to heal and protecting the more frail party members. She'll even take lethal damage for another party member under the right conditions. An hour or 3 into the game, Melody reveals the reason she chose her name. The melody of a song is the part everyone is listening to, and it's the part that the rest of the song is built around. At first I thought she was just a narcissist, but it turns out it was a pretty appropriate name. Melody is the leader of the party, and she's constantly healing because enemies at your level will all deal solid damage. If she weren't there, the next closest thing to a healer the party would have is Jody, who couldn't possibly keep up with all the healing with just potions, especially in between keeping her taunt and barriers up. Melody is definitively proven right when the party splits up temporarily near the end of the game. The half of the party with Melody has an easier time than the half without. Although, just because she's the most important member doesn't mean the rest are useless. Allison can be buffed up to insane DPS, Claire's great for targeting weaknesses and dealing group damage, and Jody's tanking both helps the other party members live longer and helps Melody keep focused with her heals. The game is all about encouraging each party member to help the others. Buffs and heals always come out first, so Melody will always get a heal in before a party member can get hit. If Allison buffs herself with speed up, she'll do 4 attacks with a bonus instead of the 6 she would do if another party member buffed her. Spellbooks are excellent ways to customize characters. Each comes with unique spells that can have some powerful effects. They serve as subclasses that characters can swap between freely, but generally, certain spellbooks will work better on certain characters. Obviously, Magical Girl being the healing spellbook makes it work best on Melody. Claire can get access to water and earth magic in addition to fire and ice. Counterattack stance works great with Jody as the tank, or she can spec into buffs debuffs since her damage output isn't that great. Or even have her use Machinist to get access to a full party defense buff, long before she can unlock one naturally. In Beast Within, the only spellbook with a physical attack goes to Allison. Charms are another great way to customize characters. Some are pretty standard like status immunity or reduced MP costs, but some get stupid strong like a flat 25% counter chance, or carrying star power across battles. Between charms and spellbooks, there are literally hundreds of ways to customize your party any way you want. Melody falls behind in damage for almost the entire game, but combining a few magic boosting items with a late game spellbook and accessory will turn her into an absolute monster. Giving Allison the dual wield charm and a speed buff lets her attack 4 times per turn. Jody acting as a distraction with both counterattack stance and the counter charm lets her do as much damage on enemy turns as Allison does on her own turns. Each party member has an extra MP bar called Star Power that builds up when they do their job right, that allows the party to perform powerful and unique spells. Allison can strike weak points or dive bomb for massive damage, Cleric can boost attack, and Melody has a variety of unique moves based off her specialization, including a damage over time debuff and the ability to restore MP. Jodie's initial star power skill, Enchain Enemies, is underwhelming, but later on she develops Crack in the Armor, a powerful attack that also inflicts a defense debuff to an enemy. Characters are always gaining and spending star power, which means you constantly have access to a shifting array of moves, adding a lot of dynamicity to combat. Will you heal after a battle or save it for the next one to help Melody build up star power? Do you want Allison to spend a few turns fighting an enemy's weakness, or go straight for the dive bomb? Would it be more effective for Claire to cast attack boost on Allison or save up for the 3rd level spells? The game allows plenty of room for strategy, but there aren't any fights that really require it. Even the bonus bosses can be beaten with bad builds at high enough levels. The only thing I could really ask for from this game is more, but it feels wrong to ask for more from a game already filled to bursting with charm, character, and love. SLRPG is a labor of love. It's obvious everyone on the development team, especially Bobby Schroeder, put everything they had into making the game as good as it could be, and judging by the game's reception, they succeeded. I hope this little video helps to convince you to buy the game, because it's a wonderful little RPG that deserves your support. Melody mentions taking anxiety meds, which is based, and hormones, which means magic hasn't supplanted HRT and Reverie, the world of SLRPG. Magic is versatile, and so accessible that many spells are published in books for household use. You'd think someone would have come up with a spell that changes a person's body chemistry to produce the right hormones. I want to know what Melody does. Everyone else has an explanation for why they live in Greenridge, their housing situation in Greenridge, and what they do for work, except for Melody. She mentions her next semester at college, so presumably she's a student, but what does she do for work? How does she afford the rent on her giant beachside house in the woods? She tells Allison she's interested in buying a house, so presumably she doesn't own the one she lives in. Signs on the road call it Melody's house, so she doesn't live with her parents. There's no explanation for this, and as a result, my final score for this game is 0 out of 10.